Hajimemashite. My name is Sinta. Welcome back. I'm 44 years old. I have worked in a whole bunch of companies. In the past, I was laid off, not for my particular fault, but for people misunderstanding and not understanding what masks were before COVID hit. So I had lost a job because I was doing the morally right thing to put a mask on and wear the mask during the time of. It's because people didn't understand what I was doing at the time, and that is understandable, I suppose, because they've never experienced it, and there were younger people that were managing the place, and I'm much older than the average, I don't know, the younger generation, I suppose, right? So I did a bit of a clip of me putting my makeup on to show you that it's a bit of makeup that I'm wearing, not a ton. I don't wear foundation because I'm highly allergic. And I've had allergies, so my eyes have been a little stuffy. My nose has been stuffy. My contacts were giving me problems, so I've been wearing glasses. So I'm off and on, and if I wear makeup during the time of the allergy season, it destroys my eyes because I wear contacts, and it's just like this whole mess. So I just want to remind people that my channel is an educational channel. Some of it's a little bit of entertainment, but it's mainly to educate people, and it's supposed to be a little bit of fun, but at the same time I'm hoping people are learning from what I'm teaching or helping, because this is what I was getting paid for before. I got paid reasonable money for teaching and education, and I'm bringing it to the forefront where I'm doing not just the music, but I'm also doing the art, because I was teaching art and music in separate places, and this is a place where I'm bringing the two together. I do fashion. Fashion deals with textiles, wearable art, performance art. It just all fits in the same category. More than I'm thinking about doing. Let me just show you a piece that I had at my exhibition. Actually, a few of these have been in the exhibition. This was an interesting one. This was found materials. Okay. I basically knitted this, the leather I've had, and then the feathers from different types of birds in southern Africa. Can't quite say what they are because I don't think I remember them, but these bird feathers are from South Africa. These bird feathers are from South Africa. And I just want to show you the contrast, black, white, and then variants of color. So, and red, yellow, and blue are primary colors, and all the other colors are secondary colors. Just like the piano or the music, you have the majors and the minors. The same thing applies for paint, colors. So I'm using a gray gradient piece that I'm busy working on, because the point was to show that I'm usually using more or less 3 colors. The main color that I'm using for one section is red, but that's only in a small piece. So when you're doing a painting, it's important to realize not to do, and this is for more mature people. I mean, I'm doing beginner stuff, but I'm also doing intermediates and advanced. So the music I'm doing is, some of it's on GarageBand, and I feel like the younger generation, there's a very, like back in the day when I was learning music and art and all the other things and education and all that stuff, I've had many years of education. We had to sit down 1 hour straight without sitting and watching television, making sure that we're focused on our homework. We couldn't go anywhere. We had a longer attention span. Now we have shorter attention spans, and I see that students can only last no more than 15 minutes at most trying to focus their time on something, and then they get bored, and then it's like multitasking and trying to do many different things. And I understand that it looks like I'm sort of doing that, but I'm not really. I mean, don't forget, I'm 44 years old. I'll be 45 this year. And I feel as if this should help decide which direction you might want to go in regards to if you're wanting to do art or music, or if you like both of them, like I like both of them. I bring them both together for exhibitions I've done in the past. So I'm on a different level. Don't forget, I'm not just learning how to do it. I'm already past that, and I've gone to university and I've studied all this stuff, and I've taken many courses and done all this stuff just to get to this point of actually saying, okay, this is how it's done. And these are the things you need to do in order to take the steps to make it happen. So I've done a whole bunch of videos talking about the music theory, the importance of why music theory is important, and why you need to learn that besides playing around with the iPad or the phone. Like, that's fun to do, but if you're going to be a little bit more serious into it and learn to develop your skills a little bit more, you have to get into the theory. There's no way around it, just like English or a language. I mean, you have to learn to read and write, right? The same thing applies for music. Music is the same thing, reading and writing. Art is the same. Art is not just fun. Art actually has technical sides behind it. I mean, I've done my art history. I've done, there's a lot to it. Anyway, so going back to the subject of art and music, I'm planning on, I believe that since everybody really likes the fur babies, or cats and rabbits, I'm going to, and you guys can follow along and do this too. If you have a pet or a doll that you like, or a person that you find interesting to look at and to analyze, or photographs you've taken of yourself, we're going to start developing a project where we're going to, because I don't want to just do things that I'm repeating for people all the time. I think it's having a structure and developing an actual project to make more sense as to what's going to happen, right? So this is the plan. The plan is to develop 2 characters. I'm going to use Dior and Dolce and develop 2 characters for this whatever adventure that I'm trying to come up with. Maybe something sci-fi. I like to do outer space stuff. I like to discover new planets. So with the AI generated backdrops and all the things that I'm working on, and incorporating my fur babies into the project, wearing like interesting outfits and, I don't know, helmets and spacecrafts and all this stuff, that's the direction I'm looking at. And it's probably just going to start with 2 characters, because you can't just come up with a storyline. And this could lead into like video games and all that stuff. So I'm going back into the discussion that I had about people love games on here. So I'm not a gamer. I did do games back in the day, but I'm the creator that likes to create. I like to create stuff. I like to manifest a vision. I like to visualize a concept and make it happen. And in life, like everything, you have to be self-motivated, and you need to be dedicated every single day to work on a thing, a project, and without your parents. Like, this is for yourself. What is your goals that you're trying to do for the future? Where do you see yourself going? What is the direction you're thinking of going to? Say, for instance, you're not in college or high school yet. Where are you going? What is your goal? Do you have a dream? What is your dream in life? I know what my dream was, or still is. My dream was to always compose music as a composer for movies. Okay, so that was like, that has always been my dream. But obviously I've had to go through like a couple of curves and up and down hills to make this vision manifest. I mean, it could be now that where I can create the movie for myself, it's going to take a lot of work, and then create the song or the music behind it. So I think the first step is to create the characters, the anime characters, and I'm going to have to do a couple of sketches and drawings of both of them first. I'm thinking maybe they're going to be standing, so they're going to walk on 2 legs. They're probably going to have more human body features than animal body features. Their faces are going to stay the same. Their fur might stay the same. but I'm looking at them as standing, like two standing, they're standing up on their back legs or whatever. And I've sort of created a vision of it. Just now I'm going to get into more of like my logo that I have for Nomadics, which is the registered company that I have, is of a cat standing up, which is what I drew, with a garment, which was sort of like the idea of where I was going with Dior and all that stuff, but it's a white cat. So I'm looking at having these characters stand, and you guys can definitely utilize the idea and the vision for, I mean, I wouldn't recommend copying it, but I do think that by watching a project develop in front of you, it will make more sense. Like, I haven't done projects. I've sort of just shown everybody what I'm capable of doing. Now we're going to get into the let's develop a project, okay? So I've had many exhibitions. I've done shows with people before in the past. As you can see, the space that I have, it's not huge, but I've put together the stuff, okay? So everything you see in development is everything more or less I have put together. Take note, folks, it takes a lifetime to get to the stage of even understanding where it is. Now, my parents have a house. I don't have a house. I live in an apartment. I'm my own everything. I did my own makeup. So everything falls into the, what are you capable of doing by yourself without people around you? Are you self-motivated? Are you capable of coming up with a vision on your own without anybody telling you what to do? Do you need a little bit of help? So this is what my channel is it's going to give you that space to be inspired and to develop skills that you might not necessarily have thought of before, and it will help open and widen your space of your mind to understand independence and how to create things on your own. And okay, you might need some money. So money is part of the process, right? So that's why I sell stuff online. That's why I'm doing business on Facebook, because you cannot survive doing a project without generating some sort of income. I'm glad that I have a husband that supports me. So he's helping me through lots of things. He knows that I broke my leg. I lost my job. I mean, everything's gone wrong. My grandmother just passed away. I have set myself on a dedicated goal. Dedication is how the world works. If you're not dedicated and motivated, you're not going to get anything done. So that's it. It comes within you. You have to have it from the inside. If you're not able to be motivated on your own, then you have to rethink how you're managing your time and your life and your lifestyle, and what you can do to change that in order for you to become motivated. Because self-motivation, and that's what they teach in Japan. They teach at a very, very young age. You walk to school by yourself. At 5 years old, I did not have a teacher or a mother or a daddy holding my hand and taking me to school, or a bus. We walked to school. We walked to school by ourselves. And on the way, things could happen, but if we stayed on track, and that's what they teach you. If you stay on track and keep yourself focused onto the goal that you're taking, you will finally reach it. And that is the most important thing that I have learned in my entire life, was living in Japan and studying in a Japanese school and speaking Japanese fluently as a child, and learning what they learn as children as they grow up in Japan. Korea is probably the same. China is probably the same. It's very strict and very stern. But that self-motivation as a person, as a young person, has enabled me to become self-motivated throughout my life. Even if I haven't had a job, I was always motivated. And without a job, I was always doing something. And that led me to exhibitions and led me to perform with people. And it's just like a whole bunch of things. And you have to, this is like a lecture on motivation. You gotta stay motivated. You can't just stop a project in 15 minutes and say I'm bored. You have to say, okay, I'm gonna give myself an hour. I'm gonna work an hour every single day, whether it's art, whether it's music, whether it's exercise. Give yourself an hour. Start with an hour and build it up. Or if you're starting an instrument and if you're strained and your eyes are tired, start with 30 minutes. Start with 30 minutes and then build up. It goes for everything. You have to start somewhere, but you need to have that motivation and you have to stay focused, because without that focus, you will never get anywhere. And that is what that's what defines you from being successful and somebody that's just not going to make it. Because in all honesty, in order to make it in life, you have to keep going. And stopping and starting and being interested in something for 15 minutes and then not interested for 2 weeks, it doesn't show anything. It doesn't show any responsibility. So what you're showing and proving to people is that you're responsible enough to actually move it along by yourself and develop it. So I don't have anybody to teach me how to do this stuff. I have to come up with these things in my head. But I certainly have, going back to the whole concept of an animation or a storyline or drawing, since we're talking about art as well. And everybody loves Dior and Dolce. I'm like, okay, so now I'm going to incorporate them into the channel beyond just filming them, but actually getting them into character, because I think this might be the important test to see how the reaction is with where the art goes and also the music. I did write a book. It's like on Amazon. It's not great. It's a book. There's like some music that goes with it. I'll link the storyline and video here of the book that I've done before, so you guys can see that I've done it. It's just from my old channel. And I just feel as if, don't just see this as a channel to be entertained. You got to see this as an educational channel. I might not have expensive equipment to add in and link into the video. I can do what I can because I'm literally just starting off here. I mean, video and filming is sort of like a new concept for me, but I know it's important to be part of this process because this is how the world is now moving, in the direction of technology and the internet and having your own access to certain things. So that's important. So I just thought maybe I should come on, have a pep talk about what the plan is, and just a close-up, just to see if it makes a difference, just have you guys see me close up rather than, and I have my little hair piece on occasion because I feel my hair's dried out, I've over dyed it, and I feel as if sometimes I'm allowed to put something on to keep it from drying out, and my little hair pieces do help that. I'm a little frustrated with my hair right now because you can see the roots. Okay, the roots are coming out and I'm just not prepared to over bleach it. So I'm just growing it out, literally speaking. I'm just working with the situation right now. So yeah, I want this to be a space of motivation and self-determination and being responsible and learning things on your own and trying to make things happen with a little bit of guidance, but to learn that self-motivation really does make a difference in your entire life. You don't realize it when you're younger, but as you get older, and if you just are not motivated, then that's a problem in itself. You have to have some form of motivation. What drives you? What makes you interested? Is it video games? Okay, go past the video games. Don't just, if you could sit on the video game for like 2 hours, playing this game and learning those skills, then you can definitely learn art and music. Those are 2 skills you can also do for 2 hours, okay? And those skills can actually lead you to becoming that master in creating an animation or storyline or book. I can even teach people how to do a book on Amazon or whatever it is, because it's not just about watching something and enjoying it. It's more about, what are you getting out of it? I'm an education channel. That's what I'm here for. I might wear these silly outfits and stuff, but I am still educational. You know, it's not, you can hear my voice is croggy and stuff. I don't sing. I don't sing like a pop star, because I'm not a pop star. And I don't claim to be a pop star, and I'm not wanting to be a pop star, because that's not what my goal has ever been. My goal, as I said, was to actually create music, if it ever happens, because every time I have to start and stop a video and explain how I've created it, rather than people going back and watching the videos that I've put together for those particular purposes, I might have to change the headings of them at some point. But it's important to see yourself as the person that's going to take that motivation and learn those skills and start figuring it out on your own as you get older, because this is important. People stop halfway and then they're just like not interested. So that's a thing. So you can't just be interested and then stop being interested. You have to continue. My dream goal is slowly happening and manifesting into a vision. And I'm glad that people love animals, so that becomes an important part of developing this channel, is I have to incorporate my fur babies into some drawings and some art, and maybe inspire more people to create art through that too. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. I'm going to put a video here of the discussion I had on animation and video games and all that stuff, where we're going to be taking this vision next, so that there's a direction rather than just music. I think it's important to see how the music and the art blend together in real life application as to how somebody creates a vision and how they put it together, because this is something else that I've never filmed. I've never filmed my thought process as to how to put a project together. So this is your opportunity now to see how I'm going to put a project together. You guys can learn from this experience and possibly use this to create something of your own that will awe everybody around the world, if that's what you're wanting to do, and fascinate people that are wanting to figure it out and they just need some guidance. Arigatou gozaimashita. Matashita sayonara, and jane bye-bye. And I will speak to you guys in the next